I've been a long-haul trucker for 16 years. Denver to Memphis, Memphis to Jacksonville, Jacksonville to Houston, Houston to Denver, repeat. I've driven through every kind of weather, every kind of darkness, every kind of empty road that this country has to offer. I've seen things that most people never will. A tornado forming at sunset, a herd of elk standing in perfect formation across I-70 at 4 a.m., like they were waiting for someone, lightning hitting the same tree twice in under a minute. The road shows you things, but the road never showed me anything like mile marker 314. I need to be specific about where this is, because if you drive this route, you need to know. Interstate 40, westbound, between Amarillo and Albuquerque. There's a stretch through the Texas Panhandle where the land goes flat in a way that doesn't feel natural. Not like a plane, more like something was erased. No hills, no trees, no buildings, just scrub grass and red dirt extending to the horizon in every direction. At night, with no moon, the darkness out there is absolute. Your headlights cut a tunnel through it, and everything beyond that tunnel doesn't exist. Mile marker 314 is in the middle of that stretch. There's nothing remarkable about it during the day. A green sign, slightly faded, reflective numbers. I've passed it hundreds of times without a thought. The first time something happened was in November, about 2 years ago. I was running behind schedule, weather delay out of Memphis, construction outside Oklahoma City, and I was pushing through the night to make my delivery window in Albuquerque. It was around 3 a.m. No moon, no other vehicles, no radio signal. Just me and the engine and the darkness. As I approached mile marker 314, my CB radio popped. Not static, not the crackle of a distant signal. A pop, like someone had plugged in a microphone and tapped it. Then a voice, clear, close, like whoever was speaking was sitting in the passenger seat. "You should stop here." That was it. 4 words, a man's voice, calm, conversational, with no accent I could place. Then the CB went back to dead silence. I didn't stop, obviously. You don't stop on an empty highway at 3 a.m. because a voice on the radio tells you to. I chalked it up to a skip. Sometimes CB signals bounce off the atmosphere and travel hundreds of miles, picking up fragments of conversations from truckers in other states. The content was weird, sure, but weird is the CB's default setting. 3 weeks later, same stretch, same time of night. As I passed 314, the CB popped again. "You should have stopped." Same voice, same tone. But now there was something in it. Not anger, not disappointment. Patience. The kind of patience that has weight to it, like it's been accumulating for a very long time. I turned the CB off, drove the rest of the way to Albuquerque with nothing but the engine for company. Told myself it was a skip. Told myself for weeks. The third time broke the pattern. It was January. Cold, clear night. The stars so sharp they looked like puncture wounds in the sky. I was approaching 314, and I realized my hands were tight on the wheel and my foot had eased off the accelerator. I was doing 55 in a 75 zone. My body knew something my brain hadn't admitted yet. The CB was off. I'd kept it off since the second time. But as I passed the marker, my phone buzzed. A text message from an unknown number. "I can see your truck." I looked at my mirrors. Nothing behind me, nothing ahead, nothing on either side but the flat, dark nothing that is the Texas Panhandle at 3 a.m. I was the only vehicle for miles. I called the number. It rang once and connected to silence. Not dead air. Silence. The kind of silence that has texture, that feels occupied. Like someone was listening very carefully. "Who is this?" I said. No response. But the silence changed. Deepened. Like the person on the other end had leaned closer to the phone. I hung up. Drove. Made my delivery. Tried to forget. But I couldn't forget, because the texts kept coming. Every time I passed mile marker 314, always between 2 and 4 a.m., always from a different unknown number. The messages were short. "Still driving. She misses you. The exit is coming. You're closer than you think." I blocked each number as it came in. They never repeated. I screenshotted every message, showed them to my buddy Ray, who drives the same route. He said it was probably a spoofing prank. Some kid with a VoIP app targeting random numbers. He said I should change my number. I changed my number. The texts found the new one within a week. That's when I started paying attention to the landscape around 314. During the day, on my eastbound returns, I'd slow down and study the area. There was nothing there. Scrub, dirt, fence posts with no fence between them. But about a quarter mile south of the highway, there was something I'd never noticed before. A road. Not a real road. Not paved. Not graded. Not on any map or GPS. Just two tire tracks worn into the red dirt, heading south from a gap in the highway's shoulder toward the horizon. The kind of path that ranchers make driving the same route to the same pasture for decades. Except there was no ranch out there. No buildings, no structures, no sign of human habitation in any direction. The tracks were fresh, not overgrown. Someone was driving that path regularly. I started researching. County records, satellite imagery, trucker forums. The county records showed that the land surrounding 314 was owned by something called the Barlow Trust, established in 1952, with no individual names attached. Satellite imagery on Google Maps showed the dirt road extending about 3 miles south before terminating at something. The resolution was too low to tell. A building? A cluster of vehicles? A discoloration in the earth? I couldn't tell. The trucker forums were more helpful and more disturbing. I found a thread from 2019, 3 years before my first experience, where a driver named Desert Rig _Jim posted about receiving CB transmissions near mile marker 314. The same voice, the same calm tone, the same message. You should stop here. His thread had 4 replies. One was someone calling him crazy. 2 were jokes. The 4th was from a user named NM_Hauler who said simply, "Don't stop, don't look south, don't answer if it calls." NM Hauler's account was created the day of that post and had no other activity. Desert Rig _Jim posted one update, 6 weeks later. Stopped last night. Wish I hadn't. Can't explain what I saw. Taking a different route from now on. His account went dark after that. His profile said he was based in Lubbock. I searched his username on other platforms and found nothing. I searched variations of his name and found nothing. It was like he'd never existed except for those 2 posts. I should have taken the other route, I know that now. But I'm a creature of habit, and I'm also, if I'm being honest, the kind of person who needs to know. The not knowing was eating me alive. Every night between Amarillo and Albuquerque, the anticipation would build like pressure in my chest until I passed 314, and the text came and I could breathe again. So one night in March, clear skies, no moon, 3:15 a.m. I pulled over at mile marker 314. I sat in the cab with the engine running and the headlights on. The dirt road was visible in my mirrors, 2 pale tracks leading south into blackness. My phone buzzed. You stopped. Then, 10 seconds later, come south. I didn't go south. I sat in the cab and I watched. For 20 minutes, nothing happened. The darkness was total beyond my headlights. The engine idled. My hands shook. Then the lights appeared. South. Maybe a mile out. Maybe 2. Distance is impossible to judge in flat darkness. A row of lights, yellowish like windows. As if a building had turned on all its lights at once. They were steady, not flickering, not moving. Just there, where nothing should be. And between me and the lights, on the dirt road, something was moving. Walking. Coming toward the highway. Coming toward my truck. I couldn't see it clearly. It was outside the reach of my headlights. But I could see the silhouette against the distant glow. A figure. Tall. Walking at a pace that was just slightly too fast to be casual, but too steady to be urgent. My phone buzzed again. He's coming to meet you. I put the truck in gear and I left. Floored it. Hit 90 before I even checked my mirrors. When I did check, the lights to the south were gone. The road behind me was empty. The darkness had swallowed everything. The text stopped after that night. It's been 4 months. I still drive the route. I have to. It's my livelihood. But I passed 314 at 80 miles an hour with my eyes on the road and my phone in the glove box. Except last Tuesday, in broad daylight, eastbound, I glanced south out of habit. The dirt road was still there. The tire tracks were still fresh. And at the far end of what I could see, something glinted in the afternoon sun. Something reflective. Something that could have been a window. And parked at the edge of the highway, right at the gap in the shoulder where the dirt road begins, there was a truck. Not a semi. A pickup. White, late model, clean, no plates. No one in the cab. Just sitting there, pointed south, like it was about to make the drive. On the dashboard, propped against the windshield where you could see it from outside, was a phone. The screen was on. Even at highway speed, even from the cab of my rig, I could see that the screen was on. I think it was showing a text message. I didn't stop to read it. I don't know if the next person will be as smart,